welcome to this video. Today I'm going to give you a tour of my new Google Sheets cleaning and chore planner template. This has been in the back of my mind for about a year. I've been wanting to make this for so long, but I just couldn't figure out the layout that I wanted to create. I really like my layouts to be original and have really cool features, and I just couldn't figure it out until now. So I hope you like it. I hope it helps you, and it's actually helping me because up until now I have been so bad at keeping up with my chores, but I think this is good. So I hope you like it, and let's jump into it. So the very first thing you have to do is you have to customize your template. I just want to mention that this template will work any year. All you have to do is come into the cell and set the year. After you customize your template, the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to come into this daily chores section and you're going to input your daily routine. Everything that you do every single day, from making your bed, wiping your counters, doing a load of laundry, all that stuff that happens every single day and that is part of your daily routine, you input in here. And it doesn't have to be in any specific order. You just come in here and you're going to start brain dumping everything. And you can assign an area of your house, and these are fully customizable. And then you're going to move on to your weekly chores. And in this table, you are going to input your chores, same as with the daily chores table. But in this case, you can also assign that chore to a specific group of days. So for example, if you only take out the trash on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, you can just check those boxes and those chores will be assigned to those specific weekdays. So I mentioned that you can just input this on any order that you want, just brain dumping everything. And once you're done, if you scroll to the right, you're gonna see a summary of everything that you input, and you can play around reordering the table. You can sort by area, and then you can see if you missed something, and then you can come back here and you can type it in. So this is just a visual help, and it's created automatically. But the main feature of this tab is this weekly table. So this weekly table is created using your daily chores and combining them with your weekly chores. And all of this was created automatically. So for example, if I want to add something else on Sundays, let's say I want to clean my mirrors on Sundays. If I check this box and I come back here, now I have clean mirrors. And if I add all of these things on a Sunday, check the box for all of this, then the list is created automatically. And if I delete all these daily chores, then they're not gonna be here anymore. And you can also sort these tables to have better visibility. So you can sort them by area, you can sort them by time, and each table can be sorted individually. So once you're done with this, and once it looks the way you want it to look, you have two options. You can just look at it here, or you can print this area. And I'm gonna show you how you print a specific area at the end of the video. So in this tab, all you need to edit is you make your list, your daily routine here, you make your weekly routine over here, and then everything else is completely automated. Now, this is your typical week, but there's also those things, and these things I was really bad at. There's those things that you have to do every once in a while, maybe every month, every couple months, quarterly, every year. So for that stuff, I created this tab, and it works similar to the weekly tab. So you add your chore and then you activate the months in which you want to assign that chore. So you just check the box. If you want to clean your closets once a month, you just check the box for every month. But there's also a couple additional things that you have to do in here. So the way this works is you create your chore, you assign an area of your house, that's optional and fully customizable, and then you have to set a default due date. And what happens when you do that? So if I come in here, I'm going to skip a few rows just so you can see. So let's say I want to deep clean this room. And I want to do that every couple of months on the 15th. So I type in 15, and down here, nothing is happening yet. So once I start activating this task on certain months, then full dates are getting created automatically using the default due date that I assigned. So in here, I check the box every other month. And as you can see, I get January 15, then I skip 1 month, March 15, I skip 1 month, May 15, and so on till the end of the year. And once I actually get that task done, I can just come in here and I can check the box. And as you can see, this progress bar updates automatically. So you just check the box. If a task is overdue, so today is March 14 and these tasks are overdue, so they will highlight in red. So you check those boxes and then you're good. And whenever they're highlighted in yellow, that means they're not overdue yet. Now, as an additional feature, and I thought about this a lot and I really wanted to make this happen, and I did. So what happens when you only have time to do certain things on the weekends, for example? So I want to deep clean my master bedroom somewhere around the 15th of each month, but I want that to fall on a Sunday. So I can just come in here, I select Sunday, and now it created days that are close to my default due date, but that fall on the weekday that I selected. So now I'm only gonna see Sundays in here. And that's really cool. If you do this, let's do 31, for example. So the functionality that I created is going to try to get a date that is close to your due date. So it occasionally might fall on a different month, and that will highlight in yellow. And you have two options here. You can leave it like that since it's close to your date and falls on the weekday that you wanted. So chances are you are going to want to do that day. But if you want to edit anything manually, you can just come in here, delete the date that was set by default. Once you do that, it's gonna turn this dark gray. That means you deleted the formula and you didn't add anything. So dark gray means you gotta do something there. So you double click and then you set a new date. So let's go into September and then maybe let's set a Saturday instead. And anything that you edit manually in this area is going to highlight like this. It's gonna get a white background and it's gonna be bold. So that means you change something manually and it will no longer be connected. So no matter what I do here, that will never ever change again because you deleted the formula. To bring the formula back, super simple. All you have to do is go into any other date cell that is still automated, that still has this light gray background. That means there's a formula there. All you have to do is copy any cell from any month, so maybe this one, and then you paste it here. And that brings the formula back. It will adapt by itself to the corresponding month. So once you added your daily chores, your weekly chores, and you assign irregular chores to specific dates, you move on to the calendar. So right now I have January selected and I already marked all of these chores as done. So let's go into April maybe. So I have all of these chores that I haven't marked as done, and you can see them in this calendar on their corresponding day. So for example, April 1st has these 5 tasks, and as you can see in here, you get these 5 tasks for April 1st. Now in this list, you are only going to see irregular chores, the every once in a while chores, and the dates that they were specifically assigned to. And then you can use this drop downs to sort. You have this little symbol guide here. So if you have these 2 asterisks, it means it's other chores and it's not done. So you get a checkbox when the chore is done. So let's go into April in here and let's mark 4 tasks for April 1st as done. So if I come back to the calendar, now these 4 tasks were marked as done. And then you'll see this check symbol at the beginning of those 4. And you'll see them marked as done right here. Right now, the calendar is only showing irregular chores. If you also want your calendar to show you your daily and weekly chores, you can check this box. And every single daily and weekly chore will also show on each day. And as you can see, I added too many in here, so I also included a second calendar tab that works exactly the same way. The only difference is that these squares are bigger. So if I come in here, the squares are bigger. And if that's still not big enough, you are doing too much, and you can contact me and I can help you make that bigger. So this calendar, you can choose to print it. Again, I'm gonna show how you do that in the end. And then you have this specific weekly view. And the difference between this table and your typical week over here is that, as you can see, this one is not tied to a specific date. So this is just Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So this is only showing you your default weekly chores, which is everything that's daily and everything that happens on each corresponding day every single week. But then this one is actually connected to a specific week, which means it's connected to specific dates. So the first thing you do to use this table is you come in here and you select a week from the dropdown. So these are the dates covered on each week, and these are just for your own reference. So if I'm looking for April 1st, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna select week 1, which is going to give me April 1st at the very end. Whenever you get this one asterisk, that means that chore came out of the other chores table. Now this entire table is view only, and you should never edit it, not even to mark anything as done in here. I only added that space in case you want to print it. If you want a digital checklist, I also added that. So for me, just looking at this is enough. I just need a reference to know what I'm supposed to be doing. But if you also want to be able to check the boxes, you can either print it or you can use the digital checklist that I included as an additional feature. So this is what it's going to look like at the beginning. It's completely empty. And the very first thing I suggest you do is you create a duplicate of this tab and save one as your blank original. So every time you need a digital checklist, you just come back into the blank original and create a new duplicate from it. So right click, duplicate, and then this can become your blank original. Do not edit, and you can use that to create copies over and over again. And then this is going to be my new checklist. So this is how it looks like at the beginning. And the way you use it is you're going to come into the calendar tab, into this weekly table right here, and you're going to select the whole thing. So you start on this cell S2, and you drag all the way down until you are sure you selected the entire list. You need to be careful not to do something like this and then forget to select these ones down here. So once you get your selection, you're gonna copy and then pay close attention. You're gonna come into your new checklist. You're gonna click on this cell B4. You right click, you select paste special, values only. You have to do it this way or you will be pasting formulas and it's just gonna be a mess. So values only, and now you have all of your information on your digital checklist. So each week you can just create a new tab from your blank original, fill it out, and when tasks are done, you just come in here and you check the boxes until your bar reaches 100%. And before copying and pasting, you can also use these drop downs to sort your tables. So whenever you select something from this drop down, all tables will be updated at the same time. Now, as an additional feature, once more, you can also highlight areas. So for example, if you want to see everything that you've added for your kitchen, so you can just select, whenever you see this highlight and this drop down, you can just select anything from the drop down and everything concerning your kitchen area is going to be highlighted. So this depends on the area. So if you don't add an area, you won't be able to highlight a chore. And areas are fully customizable. And this is also available in the other chores tab. So you select kitchen and those are highlighted. It's also available in the calendar tab. And if you just want to remove the highlight, just come into this cell and press delete on your keyboard. So there are a lot of automations going on and all of those are optional. You can choose what of those views and summaries works for you. You can view it online, you can print it, but really all you have to do is create your daily routine, your weekly routine, and your yearly routine by brain dumping information into these three sections: the daily chores section, the weekly chores section, and the other chores section. And then everything else is optional. You can choose to check the boxes if you want to mark other chores as done. You have your calendar over here, you have your specific weekly view, then you have your digital checklist that is also optional. Now I'm going to talk about printing. It's very simple. All you have to do is you have to come into the area that you want to print and you have to select it. So there's a way to quickly select things without clicking and dragging. This is how you would select it, clicking and dragging. You just select this area and you drag down and then you scroll and drag to the right. So you can do it this way. The fastest way, the one I like the most, is you click on the very first cell that you want to select. You press shift on your keyboard and then you scroll and you click on the bottom right corner of the area that you want to select. So this is how this would look like. If you need to select a bit less, while all of this is selected, you can just press shift again and select a different bottom right corner. So it's just a matter of clicking, you press shift, and then you click again, and you select an entire area. So once I have this selected, and this is my default week, I'm gonna go into print. And then the very first thing you have to do is you have to select the option selected cells. So this is the most important part. And now I only see my selected area right here. So you can choose to print it in landscape, you can choose to print it in portrait. Portrait might look too small. You select a scale right here so you can fit to width. You can make your margins narrow. Now there's a bunch of other options right here. And for example, here I am seeing the sheet name. So in order to hide that, I just select this checkbox. And if I am seeing any frozen rows or frozen columns, so if it looks like this, you just uncheck this box that you find on headers and footers. And then everything else is pretty self-explanatory. You can just look at these options, and if something is just not looking right, you can find the option to remove that. So as you can see, when everything is checked, you see a bunch of stuff here. So if I uncheck it, that's gone. Once this looks good, you can just click on next and then select if you want to save it as a PDF first for some reason, or your printer, and then you just click on save or print. Now, if that ends up being too small for you, you can also split it into pages. So you can select maybe Sunday through Wednesday, click on selected cells, and then it's gonna look bigger. And then you can move on to printing maybe Thursday through Saturday. And then you have that on two separate pages, since all 7 days together might be a bit too small, but that's completely up to you. And then you can also print the calendar, and the logic is the same. So you're gonna select the calendar area, and then you click on print, selected cells, and then you can select fit to page, so it prints on just one page and it doesn't try to jump into another page. So if I do fit to width, it sort of tries to jump into the next page. So we can do fit to page. And again, if you are seeing something weird up here being repeated, then you can just come in here and uncheck these repeat frozen rows. So it's just a matter of selecting the area that you want to print, selecting this option that says selected cells, and then just playing around with the options until it looks the way you want it to look. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I hope it helps you. I hope it inspires you to get organized. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me and I will be happy to help you. Thank you so much for watching.